The last time on Pete and his bus. This time on Pete and his bus, I am going to start adding a different color onto the bodywork. We are living in very strange times indeed. But luckily for me, the location where I actually work on my bus is very isolated and I'm the only one on site. So for this very reason, you'll all be pleased to hear that my videos will be coming out as usual. Whilst I wait for some materials to arrive to start painting, there are a few small jobs that I want to get sorted out. And the first one is this battery box. Its location right at the back bottom of the bus causes it to take in a lot of dirt and grime on the roads. And also, there are many different materials in the construction of it, like aluminium, steel, fiberglass, and these together actually cause corrosion. So I've tidied it up and I've also installed my new twin 12-volt battery setup. The second job was to remove this horrible sticker that we've all been looking at for the past 8 months. It took a lot more than you think to get rid of it, and a heat gun was necessary to actually peel it off. The bonnet on a Routemaster bus has a flap on the side of it which allows for more cool air in the engine on a hot day. But ours had so much paint on it, it took me nearly an hour to get rid of it all. But it is now ready for some primer. And now for the last job on our snag list. Our cabin is actually still missing one piece of glass. Now the previous owner of this bus kindly gave me glass to go with it, but I had actually lost this piece. Luckily, I found it, and today I'm going to install it. This job was particularly difficult because the window is in such an awful state. But with a lot of pushing and shoving, I actually managed to secure the glass in the frame for it to go back in our bus. That is the first time that the driver's cab has had glass all round for a considerable length of time. A lot of you will probably know that a Routemaster bus has lots of little cubby holes and hatches that can be opened with a T-key. Now, for those of you that follow me on Facebook will also know that I recently snapped mine, and I've actually not had the chance to open up any of the doors on my bus to see what is inside. So I'm inviting you on a journey of discovery with my new T-key. Whoa! Ugh. Oh. So for those of you that are a bit lost, these are the rollers that the blinds used to sit on the front of the bus. So the light box is actually sealed up. It's got rivets all over it, so I won't be able to open that right this second. But there's really nothing back there apart from some lights or treasure. Right, the next one is an exciting one. It is the cubby hole for the conductor. Oh, we've actually found gold. I would just like to add that this is genuinely the first time I've opened any of these hatches up. I'm not doing this for video or anything like that, so I really don't know what we're going to find. That's some serious cable tie. Yummy! Ugh. Oh, this is cool. These are original Riveting London duty record cards. They've probably been in there since 2005. God knows what this is. Electrical diagram, maybe? Uh-oh. This is a nice shirt.
Presenting Buswear by PAHB.
After all the sanding of my bus, a lot of the aluminium of the body is now exposed, and every single piece of that has to be covered with acid etch primer.
They call me Etchy Primer. I'm coming at you like a ray, like a tiger. What kind of color did you want me to spray? Take a guess, it's gray. Somebody get me something to spray right now. Edgy, edgy primer, edgy primer. Disrespect with the primer. Brah, brah. Get some. Spray it.
And now for the big job. This is not as straightforward as just painting some grey paint on the silver bits. I'm taking the bus section by section and I'm prepping all the strips with all the rivets and the panels to then cover any bare aluminium in edge primer and cleaning in between every stage. For the bottom half of our bus is to get all the strips sealed up. Because the strips and the panels on our bus are all old and wonky, some of them don't join completely flush. Now what happens is you get moisture between them and then the paint starts flaking off around the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a big gun out and I'm going to squeeze it till it squirts out a big load of white stuff. The top half of our bus requires the exact same treatment, but the difference is that the top half is actually in a much better condition. It's just not had all the bumps and the scrapes and the repaint like the bottom half has. So that makes my job a lot faster. I've now got to deal with something which I know is there, but I've just not had the balls to look at it yet. This fiberglass patch is probably hiding damage, so let's find out. Oh, shitteroonies! I don't really know what to do. This damage that I've discovered underneath the filler is almost bad enough to replace the entire window, or at least the second window, because of course the second window is a standard size. The first window on the corner is one I don't have a spare of. So I could replace the second window and then repair the first one at the bottom. But if I wanted to replace the window, then I have to take all the inside lighting out, which I guess at one point I have to do anyway. I really don't know what to do. So I'm just gonna have my tea and think about it. The cup actually makes it taste better. After some time thinking about it, I've realized that even if I replace the second window, I'm going to have to make a repair on the first one anyway, so I might as well go for the full repair. The question is, can I do this?
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya. is round 1 of sanding complete. You can tell my curves are not quite perfect yet, but I think what is going to remain is a lot better than what was.
Now that the repair is out the way, I'm able to go full speed ahead and finish all the sanding, cleaning and primer.
So to finish off, I'm going around the bus and just looking at small details and trying to find anything that isn't correct. Now, the problem with this is, of course, the bus is massive. So this is taking quite a lot of time. And because it's so big, I am, of course, finding small things that are incorrect. Like here, for instance, I found 3 rivets were missing. And it looks really weird on a strip like this when the rivets aren't there to see. Someone had obviously filled them in, so a bit of detective work was required to locate them, punch them through, and add some new ones. So normally when I get to the end of an episode, I wander around the bus, have a few stylistic shots, and I go on about all the progress we've made. But this time I thought I'd do it a little different, and I thought I'd actually drive the bus out. But that comes with its own complications.
For those of you that have watched episode 5 of Pete and his bus, you will know that I pulled out the entire heating system. Now, Routemaster buses have a bit of a design flaw.
The water used to heat the heating system in the saloons is the same water used to cool the engine.
So if I were to fire the bus up right now, the engine would lose all its water and I would consequently cook it. But it turns out that there are some taps you can close to isolate the water to remain in the engine only.
But the problem is, I don't know which way is closed or which way is open. So I'm going to apply a very scientific rule here, and that is called lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, fire up the engine and see what happens. A couple of things I do have to do before I go is put gloves like this on because the steering wheel is very damaged, and take this top off because it is bloody hot today. Let's go drive a bus.
I have checked the coolant level in the engine and it is correct, so here we go.
So I think we're good to go.
The best way to scrutinize body prep is under the bright light of the sun. I'm always a bit worried about doing this in the fear of finding that I've done a really poor job. but it actually turns out I've done okay, and I am pleased with the result. Yes, there are still a few small details that need sorting out, but I've got to have something left to do for the next episode, haven't I?
As always, thank you so much for watching. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, there is nearly 10,000 of you, which is amazing. I can't believe this is happening. The current events around the world are not going to stop me from making videos. The only thing that's going to deteriorate is my haircut. So, until next time, see you later. Why is it the second you pull your bus out, some albatross flies past and does a massive shit on it?